Okay, once we get the concentration profile as a functions of R, then normally in the studies on chemical kinetics and catalysis, we are interested in the molar flux NAR or the molar flow WAR at the surface R equal R. So your WAR in here is defined as the 4 pi R square multiplied by the molar flux. And this one will be equal to 4 pi R square multiplied by minus dA dCA over dR, R equal R. Okay, or we can define it as minus 4 pi R square dA dCA over dR, R equal R. And this will be equal to minus 4 pi R square dA CAR minus F divided by R square plus 1 over R dF over dR at R equal R. Okay, so now you need to go back into the definitions of your CA. So your CA in here is equal CAR multiplied by R minus 1 FR. So the derivative of CA with respect to R will be, you need to use a chain rule. First, your CAR in here is assumed as a constant, then multiplied by, derive this one first, minus R minus 2, multiplied by the FR, plus, then you let this one, and then you derive this one, the F over dr. So this is how you get, this is how you basically get the term that I derive in here. It's basically through the applications of the chain rule. Or if you have this d uv will be equal to u dv plus v du. Okay, so that's if you want to, for those that are wondering why we have this term. Okay, then we continue. So that will go to minus 4 pi r square dA CAR multiplied by 1 over r square multiplied by sinus hyperbolic K1 aksen A divided by this dA multiplied by R divided by sinus hyperbolic A divided by the dA R plus it's a bit long, so I have to write it just below that. K1 aksen A divided by dA multiplied by the cos H K1 aksen A dA R divided by sin H aksen A divided by dA R, and then this one is inspected at R equal R, and then we can derive further from this dA CAR minus 1 over R sin H R divided by sinus hyperbolic divided by dA R plus multiplied by R divided by sin hyperbolic K1 divided by dA R, and we can simplify this term into 4 pi R dA CAR 1 minus K1 A dA R cos divided by cos hyperbolic divided by sin hyperbolic becomes cotangent hyperbolic so then we have the expressions for the molar flux or molar flux NAR or the molar flow WAR at the surface. If the catalytically surface area were all exposed to the stream of concentration CAR, then the species A will not have to diffuse through the pores to a reaction site. Therefore, the molar rate of conversion will then be given by the product of the available surface and the surface reaction rate. So this is defined as a molar flow in the ideal scenario. Okay, whereas the one that we have derived in here is the one with the diffusions taking place into the catalyst surface, the diffusion happening in the pores. And if you divide the actual molar flow divided by the ideal molar flow, then you will have the efficiency factor of your catalyst divided by this W naught, and that will be equal to 4 pi R dA CAR multiplied by 1 minus K1 A dA R cotangent H K1 A dA R divided by minus 4 divided by 3 R raised to 3 A K1 CAR. And some of the term in here can be cancelled with each other, like this 4, and then this pi, and then R pi, and then R in here can become 2. Okay, this CAR. Okay, and this will be equal to 3 divided by K1 A R square divided by dA, and this will be multiplied by root square of K1 this will be a cotangent hyperbolic of A divided by dA R minus 1, or this can be defined in terms of these variables. Where this variable in here is what we called as a Thiele modulus. And this quantity in here is what we called as the effectiveness factor. It is the quantity by which the ideal scenario has to be multiplied to account for the intraparticle diffusional resistance to the overall conversion process. Okay, for non-spherical particles, so far we have assumed that the particle is basically spherical. As you can see that when we derive these things in here, we use the volume for the spherical particles. But let's say if the particle is not spherical, then we need to account for this fact. R is R non-spherical will be equal to 3, the volume of the particle divided by the surface of the particle. Okay, and the absolute value of the conversion rate is then given by WAR, roughly equal to the volume of the particle multiplied by A, K1 CR multiplied by the effectiveness factor, where your effectiveness factor is equal to the 1 divided by 3 by these equations cotangent 3, and then this particular variables in here is defined as these variables in here. Vp divided by Sp. And these variables in here is what we called as a generalized modulus. We will not go into the derivations of this particle, but what we have in here is basically the fact that the effectiveness factor in here is that we put in here is given for the case where we have a spherical particle, and if the particle is not spherical, then we need to use this particular formula with this generalized modulus. What we can show you is that if you go into the note, or you go into the Bert Stewart and Lightfoot book on the page 566, in this plot in particular, you get a plot of your effectiveness factors against this generalized modulus, and there are not much difference between the flat particles, long cylindrical particles, and the spherical particles. And it basically shows that the equations that we give earlier is applicable for the intermediate values of generalized modulus. Okay, we have covered until this video pretty much every examples for your mass transport. Okay, so I will conclude the examples for the mass transport here. Thank you for listening.